hear the voice of reason.
Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. I'm your host, Voice of Reason, and thanks for joining me once again. How's you doing? How's everybody doing? How y'all feeling out there? How's your day? How's your week? How's part of this weekend? Second episode in a row with the gear that promotes beautiful weather. I hope there's beautiful weather wherever you're watching this from. You know, is it time for them frozen margaritas yet? Anyway, let's jump right in. Men can't alter their bodies with their clothes like women can. This is not so much to dig into. All this is really saying is that men are on Front Street. What you see is what you get. I mean, now they have surgeries and things to alter men's appearance as well. Break your legs and make you taller. You have the surgery to get a six-pack. But for the most part, we come from what you see is what you get. So whether we're skinny, 100 pounds dripping wet, whether we 300 pounds real sloppy, there's nothing in the moment that we can do to change that. So in our dealings with dating, etc., it really is take him for how he is. You know, the money, whatever other perks come with it, that's for down the line in the pod and in your dealings. So that's really it with this statement. I'm not really here to expose how women can buy the right clothes and in those clothes mislead us a little bit. You know, Lil Wayne said it at the end of the song with, what's my man name? Lloyd, the singer Lloyd and Wayne, you. He said, I ain't being mean, but you look mean in them jeans. You know what I'm saying? So like the way women choose to wear their clothes, how they fit. I mean, for men, that matters too. You know, if we do have the shape, or even if we don't, we still should care how our clothes fit on us, no matter what size. But I know that women go harder with this and can mislead. Fellas, who want to come up here and tell me how you got? We could joke about it, you know what I mean? And not to knock women, you are supposed to wear the clothes that look good. So can you really be mad? But I would like for a young fella to come up here and say, yo, Voice of Reason, man. This lady, man, the outfit she had on was fitting like a glove. Then when she took the clothes off, it was a different ball game. Listen. You can't be mad at that. This is only to say that we don't have the same luxuries at the same level like y'all do, ladies. So keep rocking that one up. But I ain't knocking the hustle. Wear what you feel makes you look good. How can you really get mad? The game is the game. All right. No lady is hard to get. You just don't have the money. Now that was sent from somewhere. Today's day and age, this is not exact and in all cases, but I got 30 and under. This may be true. This may be true. And there's a bunch of things surrounding that and the next topic right behind it. Maybe I should just combine it from now. Are the pretty women baddies are just for the rich? So let's combine this. All right. Doing my homework early. Women are going to say in this day and age, we got to be independent. We got to take care of our own. There's a bunch of single moms. There's women who don't even have kids, but still take care of themselves. Everything, all the bills, everything, like whatever their life luxuries are, they keep up with that and they do their damn thing. So, there's that little tension saying that they don't even need a man, right? So they hold it down. That side of it can promote that, fellas, you gotta have money, and not in the gold digging sense that she's gonna take your money, but just make sure you got enough to hold you down with some extra to treat her sometimes. You see, I took a positive angle first. She has her money. You better have yours and just a little extra to treat her on the positive note. So the independent women can salute me for that, because that's the verbiage for you solid ones. Now, going back, no ladies hard to get. You just don't have the money. And all the pretty women baddies just for the rich. 30 and under. I feel like you are privileged. So it's such a distraction that they may have money of some sort, but it don't matter. They straight coming for yours. Great movie of mine, in my opinion. Scream 2, Jada Pinkett, tread light, and Omar Epps in the movies. She said, give me money, I need popcorn or whatever. And he said, you got money. She said, I got my money. I asked for your money. He folded. But that's just quoting that. Privilege. So there are women who are financially struggling, who don't got it, projects, Section A, etc. I'm not here to bash them. Single moms on WIC and whatever, public assistance. And yeah, you're going to have money to approach them. Some life coaches and red pills, right, may say, why would you want to approach someone like that? Because, sorry to say, we use our eyes. And because we use our eyes, these women who got kids, these women on public assistance, welfare, etc., some of them look great. And that's just unfortunate that that's their situation. But they still look good and still could turn a head or two. You know what I'm saying? So like their financial struggle their looks don't always take a hit. I feel like guys, their financial struggles their looks will take a hit when they struggle. But I feel like women could struggle and still make it look solid. So I say all of that to say, yes, if it's not the solid women I described in the beginning of this topic, the independent, etc., then yeah, you are in for a ride. You just don't have the money. And yes, pretty women and baddies are just for the rich. In large numbers. Not every case. I know there's going to be guys and some women that disagree, that say, shoot your shot. You never know. We don't. But at minimum, have your money for you and money to treat them. And if you get a shot, you get a shot. I'm not saying not to try, but this is definitely a fact in a lot of cases that the bread matter, man. It is all about the money. And again, people are defended and say that, well, not directly. They don't want it in their hand. But you can't be no bum. Can't be no bum, right? So I went light. I ain't really say it like it's terrible, like they are all gold diggers. Shout out, I don't know that page. I don't really want to go hard to give a shout out about it, but it is entertaining. The page with the gold digging on Facebook, where these guys have, I don't even know how much, $100,000 whips, and they approach these women on feet, and the woman is like damn near rude off rip. But then when they see the guy getting this 100,000 or however hundreds of $1,000 cars, they spin back. So that is very funny. And I guess that's been tainting me lately because I've been watching that for the last few weeks. And that's why this subject matter is like not in favor of the ladies, man. We got to tell the guys, watch out, because they only after what you could do for them. You know what I mean? This ain't new. And I could tell them that, ladies, but so you gold diggers, if you watching, or you ones that about the money, if you're watching, keep doing your thing, because dudes are going to buck anyway. They going to bite. They going to go for it. If you're that appealing, why should I hate on you? Get your bag. But I got to still try to tell them, look, don't think it's all sweet. Don't think it's all sweet. And fellas, if you want to throw booby traps out there and set them up to see for failure, you might get your feelings hurt. Because there's ways. I used to do it. Anytime I was dealing, I would just off the rip be like, look, I ain't got it. This is going on, that going on. I could come up with something. We can hang out. I'll put something together, but I ain't that one. And it was good discipline, because those were ones I probably really wanted to see what's good. But I was like, nope, come with this strategy so they don't play in your face with that bread. You feel me? Everybody work hard for their shit, so nobody should really get over. I'm not saying there should be a guy that lure women for their money. I'm saying everybody work hard for their shit. Just come to a neutral ground and understand each other's situation. And the guy pays, the girl pays. Figure that out. That it like we could dead a lot of complicated shit, but it's just never gonna be that smooth. So I'm off that. I got PTSD from how fast a person can love you and switch on you the next minute. Listen. I've been here, and I'm sure I discussed this before. There's not nothing to really lose sleep over. The thing is this. I mean, you will. That was so smooth, right? Like it ain't nothing. I can't tell you the weight of your problems and pain and trauma. But if you already go in, you gotta kind of go. It's like a job. Like, okay, you may have a gig where you feel like they can never fire you, right? Maybe you felt that way from the gate, but then the work you put in and the time you put in, you feel invincible, like they can't fire you, right? How many gigs is out there that you can really say that that's valid to feel that way? Sit on that and then apply that here. So if you with someone, the way you got them, however y'all met, and it's gels, and you want to straight and narrow, and then time is put in, consistency shows, you think shit's sweet, right? And maybe it is. But just the fact that you can't control another person, and you shouldn't want to, no matter how good you think you're doing it, and at whatever rate you rate yourself, you gotta know it's like that job. Yeah, you don't think there's no way they can fire you or they go under, but you just never fucking know. So just have a little bit of security. You know, people with the jobs, you might want to have a little bit of savings or something in the tuck in case some random weird, unfortunate shit happens. For the situation with love, you really can't put nothing in the tuck. You could just be like, really like, all right, I'm not going to be delusionally in a delusional fairy tale where it's like it could never. You just say, yo, I did my best. And if it switch up, it switch up. Pain gonna come. It's still going. There is no solution, no cure that you just gonna get out of situations unaffected completely. That alone should help as well. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna sting. But whatever mindset you had prior to it popping off that way helps cushion the blow. And that's easier said than done. So now, you know, it becomes complicated. You're like, voice of reason. Do I not go after what I really want? Let's tease and say the baddie and you get her. You like, man, this is top 5 right here. You can't get hype. I'm not saying to downplay the person or downplay treatment, but you gotta really be like on a balance with yourself. Like, okay, I did good. I did good here, but don't sleep. You're replaceable. They'd be like, yo, that's harsh. Why would you say that? People do last forever. Everybody mentally feels they're replaceable. Like the other person can replace you. Somewhere at some point, possibly that crosses the mind. Grass is greener, etc., etc. But if you just have a little bit of a guard up, just a little, you'll get through it better than if you was went in there thinking that shit can't end. Pay attention to the mental state of the women you're dealing with. Be cautious, keep receipts, maybe even recordings. Sad to say. I'm not gonna do the political, like, listen, I don't really get into the what's happening in the world. I will say I'm glad Tory is alive. The stabbing, whether, now people want to say is it really true or not. If he was really stabbed, I hope he's good. I am a fan. I can be a fan and not follow or fully agree with how the person is moving if whatever's said out there in the world is true about him. The same thing with any celebrity that has a bad rap. I'm not going to talk about Diddy. You had people that was really Diddy fans. You had people that was really R. Kelly fans. And I feel like for their career and whatever they gave you, their gift, if you cherish that prior to this shit popping off, you can still hold that. People aren't perfect. People aren't polished. You ain't got to support how they live. But whatever product they gave you, if I love pizza, pizza's my favorite food, and every fucking pizza maker is a serial killer, am I not going to eat pizza no more? That's an extreme, but I'm just saying. Anyway, real quick on that. So this mental state thing, Megan, Cassie, I'm not going there. I'm just using their names and moving on. Because when you hear the name Megan, what has popped off. And when you hear the name Cassie, what's popping off. So I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is, let's pay attention to mental state. So fellas, you gotta be really careful. And it's more a lesson for them. I'm not really coming at women here. Fellas, you gotta really pay attention because it helps you to know how to move. If you're going to keep it legit, honest, and clean, I still say pay close attention. Because in your best behavior, there's still things you need to look and see and be aware of. But especially, and I hate to promote, I don't hate, you do what you do. And for the fellas who want to sort of keep it tall, but may dibble and dabble, may do a little play. You got to pay attention more. See, that's the price. You could be a player. Play on. I'm not even being sarcastic. If you're built for this shit, do it. But you got to pay attention more to the mental state of the women if you going to play. Whether you think you keeping it a G and stand up with her or not. You got to pay attention more the more you going to play. But fellas who's on purple pill time, says, look, I've been out there. I'm good right here. You still got to pay attention. Maybe it's not on as high alert, but you still got to pay attention. Don't get that twisted. But the ones who playing, even if the women act like they with the shit too, I do me, you still got to pay attention. You never stop paying attention. You got to check, mental health check. Mental wellness. That's a real thing. And a lot of women are traumatized. I said this in the other podcast about, fathers. The fathers in the daughter life plays a huge role. That might take away. Did Megan and Cassie have their father? I'm not judging. Listen, I'm just saying. That helps. And still you got to pay attention. I think that's the title for this whole thing right here. Pay attention to the mental state. And women, if you want to throw throw something back my way, yeah, pay attention to your man's mental state. But you know what? I think in that breath, if you are keeping it tall and everything's on the up and up, your job may be easier if he's the right one. But you're going to debate that all day. Is he? But if he shows enough percentage of being the one, you may could relax on that, but pay attention, but it may not be a hard gig. But if they full of shit and you keeping it tall, yeah, you got to pay attention too. No one's off the hook here. No one's off the hook. We all got to pay attention. But I just feel like when I use the words Megan and Cassie, I'm telling the men to really be careful, really pay attention, really like watch what you do, and you know, women are precious cargo. So I'll defend this on the closing. So that abuse thing, I'm not for it at all. Like, I don't care. I know I've seen and possibly been in situations where men have been provoked so much to the capacity that it almost came to it. But fellas, I'm going to advise, no hands on women here. And I'm not no picture perfect person that acts like I ain't never been in some tight ass situations close to that, damn near that, and you might have. I'm just saying, listening to me now, from here on, stop. It's not cool. Walk away or something. You got to remember, their emotions will never match, should never match yours. And women could, come on now, women take accountability too. You want your man to be emotionally intelligent. Cool. But he can't be on the same type of timing with emotions, because when it goes left, it could be ugly. And I'm not saying you wanted that or that's what you're saying, but that's what that could promote if he's as emotional as you. You don't want a man as emotional as you are. You want him to show some emotions. You don't want to be no fucking robot. I get it. But emotional intelligence is just being aware of his partner's emotions, his lady's emotions. Not so much that he could just let loose with his. You dig me? So that's about that. But there's never a break from that, guys. You know, to pay attention. I want to stress this so much, especially with it being the name of the episode. Like, anything that's off, you address, you talk on it. Anything, you know, if there's moments that's not consistent. You know, I know that we all working and grinding and bustling and hustling out here. You know, I don't think one person, you know, has a lot of people don't have the awarded to sit home. You know, they got to grind, right? So I know you dealing with your individual shit, but really I'm stressing this. With your individual shit and whatever responsibilities you have as yourself, with yourself, you still got to tap in. Make sure you're not missing anything. Keep that. That's a good job to have. That's an important job to have. You know, I know people that probably been together years and don't even do this. Like, that shit just going. They just going. You're like, yo, how they rock that long? And then when something shatter, and that's how that shatter shit be so fucking overbearing, because it's like y'all never did the check-ins anyway. So that should be overwhelming when it pop off. You're like, what just happened? You wasn't doing what I said. You feel me? And that's it. So good luck in everybody's endeavors with whatever they chasing and whatever they doing. And you know my 3 Ps. Stay positive, stay pushing, and stay progressive. Peace.
From the get-go, it's nothing special. Not every moment in my presence hard for you to let go. I know my energy get people motivated, but I ain't no hero and I won't demonstrate it. Got my own issues, I can't save you no more. However shit popped off, I can't blame you no more. Lessons of life, make you supposed to step it up, right? Get over it, get back in and fight. Your actions ignite, they lie to you. Whoever told you that it never be hard? And you can't be tough if you never had scars. You never find real love if you thirsty for it. Who did me dirty, damn, couldn't tell who's first on that list. A huge thanks, bet the bank that it won't be a repeat. Only read is the re-up, no rekindle or re